All right. So as I was just saying, boy, you got a 65 tag. Was that on it?
Yep, it's part of the deal.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Same with the car.
So the story was on this that the guy, that it was a 383 originally, to the best of everybody's knowledge, and the guy had the 383 that was in it, and pulled it out and threw it on a junk heap.
Well, the man wanted it for use in something.
Oh, so they used, okay, I got it. So they had this engine from probably a junk motorhome or something like that. And
some sort of a swap. What the means of what the goal was, I have no idea.
yeah, that's something that you seem like you can't get away from 73 Dodge motorhomes, is the engine that was in your Dart that you built. That, you know, I haven't told this story to everybody, but that it came out of a 73. And me and Shane here, we went to go get that motorhome that had been sitting up for I don't know how many years, and my brother's a little bit more adventurous than I am on stuff like that, and he actually wanted a 30-foot motorhome, a huge one, 28-foot, huge, one of the old things. And this damn motorhome hadn't run in I don't know when. I hadn't been even on the road, and probably shouldn't have been on the road.
One wheel was locked up.
Yeah. So we just got it fired. He got fired up and took off with it, and the doggone, looks like something out of a movie, man. The damn side door kept flopping open, and I was sure we were going to get pulled over that thing. And every time you put the brakes on, the front wheel would lock up, and it was trying to push it. And remember, we got down there to the pharmacy, and you cut it off for some reason, and it almost wouldn't start again. And I thought, damn, this is where it's going to die right here. It's over. But it started and got here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, that was an adventure.
That's pretty much what's in there now.
Yeah, that, sure enough. Yeah, that carburetor, that one I had, it works okay, but those things you have to, it's funny you say it's rich, because those are, they say out of the box, those 600s like that are notoriously lean. And that one I've been tuning on mine a lot, because you have to change, you can change like the rods drop down, and the jets and all the springs, the pop-up springs, and I've monkeyed with mine because I got mine so lean that it wouldn't even I couldn't even hardly get it to like move, except I'd have to like pump the gas a little bit. That's how lean it was.
This one tends to backfire a lot.
Yeah, that's what mine is. If you let it, like when you're trying to get it started and you let it like almost die and then try to get it,
yeah,
real bad about that.
A good bit.
Yeah. You got a fire extinguisher in case it catches on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, cool. Yeah, you want to fire it up?
All right.
Is this something that's going to scare me?
No.
Okay. Nothing much really scares
Are you
me.
filming?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
you made it something scary. Nothing scary.
Well, not as much as it used to. I used to be a scaredy cat about cars. Used to be. I'm not too bad now. Yeah, I was mostly kind of kidding about that. I am going to kind of stand back just a little bit, though.
It doesn't backfire badly. It's just, I never had much that backfire.
On the list of things that I like in life, a backfire is not up there too high, I think. So.
You used to like backfire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I grew out of it. Uh-oh. All right. I heard that. Yep, I heard that.
Familiar?
It did. It backfired a little bit.
Huh?
Yeah, it backfired a little bit.
Yeah, it'll do it. I mean,
mine didn't do it that bad. Yeah.
Pressured it.
You know, it actually, don't know if you heard that, but it backfired up here, and then it backfired out the exhaust right after that.
I wonder what the significance of that is.
I don't know.
At both ends.
That carburetor might be plugged in. It kind of, I tell you, I've heard that before, and what mine does is mine will plug up one side of the idle circuit, and that sounds a lot like that. Because if I let mine sit, it gunks it up, and what I have to do is you take the...
That one's set for 10 years.
Well, you probably ought to pull the... Well, I won't tell you what you ought to do, but what you can do is... I just pull the top off mine if it gets bad enough, and just blow it all out with an air gun.
Does it cause it to richen it up too much? Because that's what it is. It's...
Yeah.
You can easily flood it so easy, and you can run the air screws in until it's full lean, and it won't kill it out.
Oh, it's plugged up.
And where do you ream that
Well,
out
I can show you that. If that air cleaner is easy to get off, I can show you, or I can tell you. If it's that bad though, brother, what I would suggest to do is probably, like I said, you're welcome to use that other carburetor for sure.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But if you want to just monkey with this one, see if it runs a little bit better.
Much.
Yeah.
Not a 600.
I'll tell you where it is. It is the... I don't want to take that off. Okay. Right down there, if you look right down in the top right there, there's a tube.
Okay.
You see the top of a tube, or a passageway. That's your air bleeds.
Take your finger off. Let me see. Go
Right,
down in here?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see it, but I'll take your word for
Well,
it.
if you look around in there, it's the top of it. I'll keep my
Is there
finger
one on each side?
Yeah, that's your idle air bleeds. And what I have to do on mine, somehow it gets to the end of that tube down there.
I feel a little tube or something sticking up.
That's
there.
probably it. You can take carb cleaner, but I usually have to take like my air gun and do it.
What,
and I just stick it right on the top of that thing and just go.
Oh, just
down
blow
in
the
there.
whole area out.
Yeah. Cause it's whatever. What mine does, mine will perfect, but I know when that's happened because it'll sound sort of like this one did. It sound like sick and idle.
Feels sick too when you push the gas.
Yeah, and you rev it up and it'll start clearing up. So mine does. But this thing is probably that may or may not work because it's probably gunked up
It
inside
makes
pretty
sense
bad.
that the air bleeds, because when you don't have any air bleeds, you don't have any air getting in there.
That's true. You're just
It's all
getting gas.
fuel.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it's doing. It's got one plug over here that was just doused with gas.
Yeah, that carburetor needs to be rebuilt. Probably.
Maybe if that one you got works, if you'd have any use for this one, I'd trade you or something.
Okay, sure.
If this would be something you could.
If that one works, I mean, it was on that Fury and it looked like it was fine, so it looked good inside. So I guess what I'm saying is, if I rebuilt it right,
Oh,
it's the first one of those I've ever rebuilt. So.
Yeah. If you rebuilt it, it ought to be ready.
I learned something from somebody. I've got a subscription. His guy's name on YouTube is his YouTube username is Musty1, and yeah, that's an interesting name. I have to ask him how he came up with that, but he does. He's a really sharp guy. He's about your age, and he's got a '67 satellite convertible. He's had for
What you have, isn't it?
No, mine's a Fury. Mine's the bigger one.
Oh.
His is the same like yours,
Oh,
and.
yeah.
The guy knows a lot of stuff. I mean, he's just sharp on a lot of things. And he was describing about belts when they wear, about V-belts. And I noticed, and I'm not picking your car apart or anything, I just noticed, you got a real worn belt, because what I learned from him is how those wear, the sides of them wear down. Yeah. I didn't know that. So I learned
Where
that.
do you think they wore at?
On the top.
Now, I got a good question for you.
What's that?
This alternator looks like it's just a parts store alternator.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But this car had a regulator.
Yeah.
Still does, and it was still wired in.
Yeah.
And this car, it will not go below 12 volts at the battery.
Yeah.
But it will not increase over 12 volts. I'm wondering what happens when you run a alternator with an internal regulator through a regulator, another regulator.
It doesn't have an internal regulator.
This doesn't?
No.
Well, doesn't all of them have a
They got a regulator, it's not internal.
I mean, that's right. All these have a regulator. My truck has a regulator.
That's right.
Okay.
See, what you're thinking of, that's a mechanical regulator, and you're thinking of the one that's like, I don't know where it is on your
On
truck.
my truck, it's not mechanical.
No, it's solid state. It's a little flat-looking box that's got a plug. It's got two turns.
Yeah, and it
on
went bad, and
Yeah.
it's got that triangle shape.
That's right.
No, that's what that is. That's a triangle shape, but it's got a
It's
got a connector,
You're
though.
getting a little confused though. That is somebody has converted this to electronic ignition.
Right.
So that's what
But
that
it's
is.
got what you're talking about on it. And that's what happened with my truck. It boiled my battery dry.
Oh, wow.
And goo ran all out the back of it, and I had to get a new one, a regulator.
Yeah.
That's a mechanical regulator then.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I wonder if they've got it wired in, if it's what's making this just put 12 volts out.
It might be.
I mean, it won't go over 12 if you rev it to the moon. And if you put the headlights on and let it dial down to nothing, it won't go below 12 volts.
Well, yeah, I think those are the ones you can take those apart and look at them. You can pretty much tune them up a little bit, clean them up and stuff.
What
and
if
get
I
'em working.
maybe replace it with
You
a
can.
good old electronic?
I think they make electronic one that looks like that, but it's electronic.
Yeah.
Keep your look.
Yeah.
Because this thing, I'll tell you something I noticed about this alternator, and something you need to keep in mind on these. Since this car is so old.
Look what the rats did. Look at all that. See, that's all the rats did.
Yeah. But this is what they call a round back alternator, which is one that's like on my Fury. And I think these dates might be off a little bit, but I think 70 and up he uses what they call square back, the later model like your truck has.
Oh, you told me that.
And this
Something
one,
about that.
right? And this one's the early model, so you can't switch them. You can't take one. You can use the later one with a little bit of changes to your wiring. But in other words, though, a round back car needs to use a round back alternator.
Why is that, though?
Well, you asked a good question, and I'm afraid I'm going to tell you something wrong.
Remember you telling me
It's
about
something about
yeah.
it's something about the design of the alternator itself, I believe.
Okay.
It's not so much the car's wiring, but like on mine, I can use a square back on mine, but I have to jump one of the diodes or something. But this one, yeah, and they've put the stupid dual pulley arrangement on
I
it.
like the dual pulleys. I like dual pulleys. Don't
Well.
you? Don't you like dual pulleys? Heavy duty.
Well, sure, I love them actually,
Added
but
layer of insurance there.
if you can put two belts on it, it is.
Yeah.
You can't put two belts on here because you don't have a pulley for it.
I'll force it to take two.
Well,
The other thing I'd like you to look at, give your thought on, is this radiator. What's this radiator out of? Because it's not the original style radiator.
I noticed that because they got your hose running all the way from this side to the. That's probably.
Well, the motor home blocks, that's what they were all on this side. The water pump housing.
okay,
You can
okay.
buy a housing like I
got
did
you.
that goes the other way.
Yeah.
But this radiator is these cars had the rounded top, those old rounded. Remember the?
That's right. Musty's car's got his original in it.
So what do you think this one came out of?
I don't know. I can write that number down and look it up for you.
That'd be good. I'd be curious. I'd like to have another shroud to put on it. If I knew what radiator it was, I'd know what shroud to get.
Yeah. Sure.
That click stand.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. You can tell they've kind of mixed and matched some parts on it, but it's
They
a nice
did.
car though. I like this.
Thank you.
I like it a whole lot.
You wonder what their goal really was with it, you know? Swapping
yeah.
engines and all that.
Yeah. Well, you kind of were telling me the backstory that this, that it has set a whole long time. The guy kind of started with it and got the engine in it, and then
But
just never even.
what reason they had chose this route way back when they put the engine in it, why they did all that, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Take a 383 matching numbers engine
Yeah.
out, and the guy, only thing I can figure out is the guy told him, for some reason maybe the 383 wasn't running or something,
Yeah.
and the guy sold him on the idea, says, well, maybe he had some other parts also, or who knows how he sweetened the deal, but he may have
Yeah.
told this guy that I bought this car from, the old man,
Yeah.
I just said, I've got a 440 out of a motorhome, so I got 62,000 supposedly, that engine.
He didn't smoke at all. When you
No,
started,
it
he didn't
doesn't.
smoke a
It
bit.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And I just sold it the guy on the idea back all those years ago, said, listen, I got a low mileage 440 out of a motorhome, and I'll put it in for you and
Yeah.
everything. And if you'll just let me have that 383,
Yeah.
and wonder if maybe it was this guy that bought all these different Mopars up and stockpiled them, and now he's just crushing them. And wonder maybe he was building another car,
Yeah.
because this would be a highly desirable VIN tag
Yeah.
to have, but being a 4-speed car. But maybe he figured the body was not up to par as well or something. So he took that VIN tag, took that 383
Yeah.
engine, and put it in a whole different body. And tried to pass it off as original.
It's possible. I don't know why they would do that,
I
because
don't
it's a
either.
straight car
Who
like
knows
that.
why they would do it? I don't know why they would do it.
would you like to hear a piece of trivia that has nothing to do with what we're talking about at all? You know, that air conditioner started up just then.
Sure.
It's not draining over there. You can hear the water in it swirling.
Yeah.
Hear it?
Yeah.
It's like a shower.
He said that master cylinder was new when he put it on. All those years ago. Go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of scared of those, though. Those are those that, if it goes out, you're
out.
You're dead.
Gone. Go ahead.
Now, I was thinking that, I've done a couple videos about the VIN numbers and stuff on these engines, and that 383 would have probably been date coded to this car, but I'm not sure that it would have had a VIN on it, because I think partial,
They did, not 68.
That sounds right, because
people check the transmission on this car to see if it was original.
Yeah, no VIN.
It doesn't have. It's weird what it's got on it. It's weird. It's not a VIN, but it's got a number, the 10,000 day number on it for the 10,000 day can.
Decipher that one?
Yeah, all I can decipher. I haven't officially deciphered it, but in proportion to my number that was on my 1970 close ratio 4-speed.
Yeah.
That this is older. This is like, it was like 3,000. This is like 2,100. So if you count years by 360 days, it was put it in back in the range of 60s. So if this wasn't a 65 transmission, it was right after.
Well, you can get on, they make a conversion thing on the internet. You can just plug that number in and it'll tell you.
I have it wrote down in there, all the numbers. In the rear end number, it's got the wimpy 8 3/4.
Well, that's
741 or 241 or whatever it is.
741, yeah.
It's got the wimpiest, 323 ratio.
Compared to anything else, though, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
No.
How's it compared to that 8 1/4 I had?
It's stronger.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, when it comes to an 8 3/4, it's like strong, stronger, and like hugely strong.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like you have to worry about getting out there and breaking it.
Okay.
You won't break it on the street tires.
Speaking of breaking something, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Awful.
Break something?
Awful. Yeah, awful that happened.
Uh-oh.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you something awful that happened was
What's
over
that?
here on this wheel right here. They were focused in on this. Before I had over the 4th of July holiday, that one wheel bolt hole down there. Before I even remembered, and I didn't even hardly remember.
Yeah.
I thought it was older than these, where it was left-hand threads on the left side of the car.
You turned it the wrong way.
I buried it halfway into the wheel, the soft aluminum, before I realized what I did with the impact gun. And so a war ensued over the whole weekend of 4th of July. Chiseling, hammering, sawing, grinding, and drilling. Did I say drilling?
Yeah, I probably did. I know what you're talking about, because when I had that blue, you don't remember it probably, but that blue big F-250, one of the lugs on it stripped, and I couldn't get it off with a lug wrench, so I had to just use every available means to damage it and destroy it to get it off. War. It is war. It sure is. War. There's only one winner and stuff like this.
That's right.
And
there's no half.
It's not going to be it. That's right.
There you go. That's a perfect attitude.
It's not going to be it.
Glad you caught on to that attitude.
It's like basically that wheel and tire and everything there is sacrificial if it comes down to it.
That's right. I got another wheel in there. I got 2 more.
That's right. There's wheels everywhere. So what?
But the one bright spot in all this is that what I was wrong about was I thought the older ones had that small bolt pattern.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was just A-bodies. I thought it was all of them had a smaller bolt pattern on the wheel. But this has got full size. My truck wheels are bolt onto this and everything.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, my Fury's got the full size bolt pattern like this.
Did you know that they were all big
for sure
bolt
like that. I wasn't for sure of that, but
I guess they were all big bolt pattern.
That Fury that I've got, it's got the big bolt pattern, but it's got 14-inch wheels on it, and it came with 14-inch wheels. Isn't that silly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I wonder what this came with on it.
That's that 60s dragster look back there with those wheels you ever see. They have the skinny white painted wheels, steel wheels up front, and they got the big black ones, wide black ones on the back.
Yeah. You
burn off that quarter mile.
That's what these were, 65. They made these in called a factory super light. They had aluminum front bumpers, and the whole body was Chrysler dipped the whole bodies of these in the acid to make it thinner.
Right. Very nice.
Non-adjustable bucket seats out of the A100 van.
Yep.
With a big 426 Hemi engine.
Yeah. I mean, monster milling in there.
The hoods were fiberglass with a big hood scoop.
Yeah.
We made like 100 of them.